To my right is the hill that belonged to the Welsh version of Scotland's William Wallace. Owain Glyndwr lived in this village. He was born here, and right 2 miles outside of the village, he built this main fortified home behind me. And this would have given commanding views throughout the valley and the village. And it's interesting driving through. You can still see Owain Glyndwr's battle flag, and you can still see things like the pub where he probably used to frequent because it was built in 1359, and Owain Glyndwr was active in the war from 1400 to 1415. And Glyndwr's Rising was a 15th century uprising against English rule in the country, which aimed to restore the Welsh nation to a separate status, to give it its own statehood. This was unsuccessful, and it went down as one of the last sort of uprisings in Wales, and Owain Glyndwr vanished from the pages of history. Nobody to this day knows what happened to him, and as I highlighted yesterday, you have some people suggesting that he became a monk, some people suggesting he became an outlaw, some people suggesting he was maybe just killed on the side of the road by highwaymen somewhere. Who really knows? But some groups today take the name Sons of Glyndwr, aiming to revive this sort of Welsh nationalism. And I think it's a very interesting and very beautiful historical landmark behind me, one that's unfortunately not nearly as well marked or frequented as Scotland's sort of national landmarks, but it deserves its own recognition because the Welsh people are the descendants of the real British people that were pushed out by the Anglo-Saxons, pushed out by the Normans, even by the Romans to an extent. And Owain Glyndwr is the sort of last vestige of the Roman Empire, of the British people, of the native Celtic people in these British Isles, and I think that it deserves much more recognition from Americans and from tourists as it already has. I'm here at this small village in inland Wales to tell the story of the Glyndwr Rising, which went on from 1400 to 1415. Now, this is one of the last uprisings where the Welsh attempted to achieve their own statehood. And in this uprising, which was led by a man named Owain Glyndwr, it sort of fizzled out towards the start and spent a decade of just brutal defeats and humiliating losses. And it culminated in Owain Glyndwr disappearing from the pages of history. Now, there's still a lot of legends about Owain Glyndwr. Nobody knows what happened to him, and he's become a sort of mythical figure in Welsh, nation-building mythology. Some groups are calling themselves Sons of Glyndwr because they take the inspiration of him vanishing, pulling off the successful vanishing act, and try to say, yes, we're descended from him. Some theories say he became an outlaw, a sort of nomad. Some popular theories say he went to become a monastery, like a monastic. But one new theory is saying that he came back to this village and was buried underneath the church. And the church at a later time was torn down and more recently rebuilt. But the local parish priest has said that he has a strong desire to see locals come to the church and ask him about it. And he's very willing to talk about it. Unfortunately, though, because of the virus situation, the doors are shuttered for the moment.